Welcome to Mom Talk Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Catherine.
I'm Didi.
I'm Caroline.
And we're here to spill
Your
T.
We have some crazy topics we're going to be discussing today. And Didi's going to start off with the first one.
Okay. My now ex-husband would regularly get blackout drunk. One night when he was passed out on the living room floor, I had sex with my best friend and her husband.
I'm genuinely so curious to know if the reason he's now the ex-husband is because that she had sex with the best friend and the husband.
I thought that's a possibility.
Right?
I mean, I feel like they're both morally, like the moral doesn't exist in like on both sides. Like the husband and the wife. Like he gets so drunk, she does the other thing.
like two very bad things.
Yeah, two very like toxic. Like feels like a toxic relationship.
It is.
Like it's like, oh, you guys shouldn't be together.
I mean, I have a question for you guys. Because, again, this is like talking on the topic of cheating. And like, the temptation of like cheating is one thing, but now you're doing it with like your best friend and the husband. So now it's like a threesome. And now when you're in that threesome, it's like.
It almost feels like there was that desire to always do it.
Right.
Like, was there that in the back of my mind, I want to have sex with my best friend and her husband? Like, that would never be a thought in my mind with anybody, with any of my friends.
No, I could never look at my best friend and her husband again. Like, I don't think I could physically ever look at them the same again. Now I'm going to have the thought in the back of my mind, like, does her husband think I'm attractive? Like, now what's going to happen in their relationship? I know for me personally, I could never share Andrew. Never, ever, ever. I just know for a fact I would never look at him the same, and we would probably end up divorced. Because, like, I don't share. That is my man. No one's touching him.
Yeah, I'm very territorial too. Like,
What's yours is yours.
Absolutely.
No one else can have
Right.
it.
yeah, don't look at it, don't touch it, don't smell it.
Otherwise, you're going to get whipped.
Yeah.
Literally. I could never.
Correct.
I just could never. But I think the problem here is, like, well, I mean, there's two problems. Because there's cheating, but there's also, like, you're getting blackout drunk on the regular.
They don't mention children, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be a good thing because in that type of environment, I don't think there should be children if you're getting blackout drunk regularly. You know what? Maybe the reason they got divorced was because he was an alcoholic. Because that's what it kind of sounds
Well,
like.
maybe it started off because of that, but then, like, you don't have to go off your way to do those nasty things in front of your, like, passed out, like, drunk husband.
Right.
Like, you can
That's
just
not
divorce
what we
him.
thought.
You can just divorce him.
I feel like when you're blackout drunk,
Yeah, you're right.
you're
you
like,
forget everything.
it's blacked out. Like,
Oh, no,
nothing.
he didn't know about it, but, like, she doesn't have to, like, do all that saying to prove a point. You can just divorce the guy.
Well,
Right.
did it say if she was drunk that night?
I don't know. It didn't say that.
It said he would regularly get blackout drunk.
Yes.
Right.
When that happened, was she drinking or was not saying that that's an excuse?
I'm gonna
but, like,
assume
I'm
they were
curious.
all drinking together.
To get to that point, I guess. I mean, that was an extreme situation.
That took it to the next level in that friendship right there.
I genuinely don't I don't think I'd be able to ever look at them the same again.
Curious if they're still friends. That's a thought that goes in my head.
That
Are
that
they
is
still
a really
friends?
good thought.
You know,
What would you
where are
do?
they now?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are they
Where
now?
are they now?
Well, what would you do in this situation? Like, if you were put in this actual situation, like your husband's constantly getting blackout drunk, your best friend's like, hey, I want to sleep with you, and my husband wants to be involved. What would you do?
I mean,
That thought is so funny.
I mean,
I feel like there is like a pre-story that you have to live through to get to that story. You know, like I'm not gonna live my regular life and get to that point. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen to me.
No.
I don't think.
Like there's a past in some way.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, there's definitely substance abuse in some sort for you to be getting blackout drunk constantly. I mean, something has to be going on in the relationship that you feel the need to like constantly block out your feelings. Because I
Or-
feel like alcohol is like a
no, but it's alcoholism.
Like an
doesn't have much
antidepressant
an
and stuff?
explanation. They could be just like you can be just addicted to alcohol. You don't have
Without
to be
like there
depressed.
being a reason.
Yeah, at the beginning of your alcoholism problem, there might have been like a traumatic event that triggered
Absolutely.
you to start drinking, but then even if you wanted to stop,
It's hard.
it's hard to stop now that you've already have the habit of doing it.
You
Right.
rely on
Well-
it too heavily
Right.
to cope with your feelings or, anything, emotions.
Yeah.
I agree. But I also think people who start doing any substance or even alcohol, when they start to drink regularly like that, again, like you're masking emotions though. Something
Absolutely.
did happen and you feel the need to like literally get away. The sense of reality, like you're running from this sense of reality to have to constantly be in a state of intoxication, for an example, to try to feel good. Like I know people, I feel like everybody knows at least somebody.
Yes. Yes, I do know
I do too.
somebody. So, I mean, my dad was an alcoholic. Alcoholism killed my dad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Didi.
So, I mean, it can start off with something, ha ha, he, and then you cannot stop.
Right.
And that goes with any drug.
Absolutely.
And then if the wife, let's say, sees, oh, my husband has a problem, she could be, hey, do you want to get help and this and that? But people with problems like that, unless they, in
Realize
their
it.
heart and in their head, want to get help, nobody can force it on them. Nobody
Right.
can offer it and they won't take it. But unless they want it, I mean, yeah.
They have to come to the realization on their own.
There is
Absolutely.
there is a reason why he's an ex-husband. Like, alcoholism is not an easy thing to have in your house.
No,
I'm sure as the wife,
definitely
it's not easy to be around either. To see the person that you love and care about drinking their life away in the end,
Yeah.
No, nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to be in an environment like that. So I really do hope and pray that like they did not have children. And not to say that they wouldn't be good parents, because sometimes people who do have issues within themselves and have these issues, they can be a great person outside of that. But it's like, I just hope there wasn't any children in the environment of something like this, because that could be really scary.
I love my dad. Like, I think he was the best dad ever. Like,
Right.
Like, outside of his, like, addiction, I think, like, he was the best dad. The best guy. Like, he was a cool dude.
I wish I met your dad.
He was so cool.
I bet he was. I mean, he created you, Didi. Like, come on. He
Yeah.
must be, he's a good one.
Do you guys look alike, do you think?
Many people say I, like, as a personality and physically, I do look
You
like
look like
my
your
dad.
dad.
Yeah. We need to see a picture
Yeah,
of
we
your
do need
dad.
to see a picture.
Anyway, I think we can all agree on this topic. It's just, whoever this person is that sent this, we're glad it is now an ex. That's honestly all I have to say about that. Does
Yeah.
anybody else?
I hope all that is in your past now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I want to know if you're still friends with your friend.
Yeah, I definitely want to know.
Like, where do you stand? Like, are you guys still doing that? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's too weird to ask. But
I don't
like,
think that's weird at all. I'm like genuinely
I don't know. Maybe it
curious.
worked out and they're like, like a throuple or something. I don't know.
You know what though? I do understand the temptation of like having a threesome. I wouldn't say for me now that part of my life is definitely like way gone. But like if I was single when I was younger, I think I would totally want to have a threesome. Sex is exciting,
But trying new things is exciting.
Trying new things is definitely exciting.
But I feel like there's an age appropriate things to do for like there's
Like
things,
exploring those
yeah,
things. Like when you're
yeah.
You think when you're younger you should be having threesomes versus older?
No,
If you're not married
no,
or in a
younger,
relationship?
absolutely younger.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
younger too. Maybe like college experiences.
Yes.
Maybe because I feel like everybody explores in college.
They
you know?
definitely do. Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Kathleen, that was me. That was me.
Listen, I had fun in college. Listen, when I entered college, I had just broken up with my high school boyfriend my senior year. It was like literally after prom. And when I entered college, I had a lot of fun, y'all. I had a lot of fun. Didn't have threesome fun, but I had fun. But I am very happy in my relationship right now if Andrew is watching. We have a lot of fun together too. We don't need a third person. Actually, me and Andrew have had this conversation before, and not in the sense of like adding a third, but like discussing the fact that we're both on the same page that it is disgusting for us to add somebody into the relationship. If you are so like, if you feel the need to add a third person, I don't think the relationship is working. In my own like personal opinion, because like for you to have to add another person for excitement, quote unquote, literally excitement. Because that's like, I guess, the whole purpose of it, to like add somebody.
Some spice.
Like your relationship is failing at that point.
Already.
It's failing.
Yeah. True. Unless
My
like you're
opinion.
filming like the thing and that's your thing.
Filming the thing. What does that mean?
I'm saying
Filming, Didi. Don't jump into other topics. Don't stop being
I'm
naughty,
saying in a
girl.
relationship between man and a wife, when a third person comes, it's ruined. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Like, I can understand if I wasn't in a relationship and like two people approached me and they were like, let's blah blah blah. Like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Again, the time has passed, but I don't know. I just feel grimy about it. Like, I don't need one in one hand and the other in the other hand.
Okay, it's descriptive.
Yeah. All right. I think we should go to the next topic. We're having too much fun with this.
Yes.
Well, I feel like we're going to get a little more serious with this topic, and Caroline's going to talk on the next topic.
Yes. Okay.
Go for it, girlfriend.
So someone wrote in, I had a closed adoption when I was 16 and didn't keep the baby. I've had zero attachment, but now I found out the baby I had wants to meet me and I personally want nothing to do with them. Am I in the wrong? That's hard because I was personally adopted when I was 6 months old by my parents. So I think in some senses now I'm okay with it, but as a younger child it did affect me in some sense. Like I felt unwanted, unloved, but as I grew up I was like, okay, this was for the best. I would not be here where I am in my life right now if I had stayed with my birth parents.
Right.
So in the end I think they did something that was good for me, but I didn't accept that when I was younger. Although I don't know how old this person is, but as you know, maybe they're old enough to be able to write this or to be able to even look for your parents. I never did it, so I don't know how old you have to be.
I'm pretty sure you have to be over the age of 18 to like
Look into
gain
your-
information on stuff like that. Because I don't think under 18, you have to be of age.
like legally.
Legally, you have to be of age.
But for this person to go out of their way to look for the birth mother means that they do not have the closure that you have. Like, oh, you've settled the thought that, like, I'm better off living this life now instead of being where I could have been.
Right, I feel like you have to be like in that situation, again, my opinion, where it's like if you were happy in the life you're living right now, then I don't think you'd be searching for
That's
answers.
true. Like, what if they got adopted into a family that wasn't like the most
Great.
ideal of family?
Right.
Like, you know, where there was substance abuse or even physical abuse or, you know, any type of circumstance where they're not happy. That could be it too.
That would be
Which
really
is sad to think about if they were adopted. I was lucky. I was adopted into a family that loved me and gave me everything that I could need to be where I am in my life today. So, very blessed.
Thank you very
Blessed.
much.
Very blessed. But you know what? I have a question because it sounds like it's coming in from the mom because she doesn't want to meet the kid.
Yeah.
Right? So, why and how wouldn't you want to know how the child that you gave up is doing? Like, how is that? How could you feel comfortable with knowing that the baby that you gave up for adoption for whatever reason, honestly, I'm hoping it's just because they wanted you to have a better life, right? Why wouldn't you want to know how they're doing now? Wouldn't you want to know that they're like succeeding? It wasn't a mistake that you did this, like all those different things. I feel like that would be running through my head.
Maybe
Running.
I think maybe one reason is what if they were like sexually assaulted in some sense and they don't want to be reminded of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if that's
The
how
baby came out of
came-
an abuse of.
or
an abusive
or
sexual-
sexually, you
Yeah.
know, that could be it. Like, maybe it brings up too many memories of things that have happened in the past.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's kind of what it sounds like because I don't see how you could be so detached unless it was like
Something
a triggering. Yeah,
That happened to this person. the
definitely.
mother.
Yeah, again, assuming.
But again, you have waited the 9 months. You did not go for the abortion. You waited the 9 months. You gave the life,
Yep.
and then you gave it away. And
Or
now
maybe
the-
what if she found out too late that she was pregnant? Because isn't there like a time where you cannot get an abortion?
Not as of right now. Well,
No?
in some states, and we don't know where she is, but that's more recent.
So I don't know.
It could be like super. Well, but at the time, if this kid's of age and they're 18 years
that's
old,
a long time ago.
this is a long time ago. So I don't.
It's not more recent.
Right.
But I think it will always come back for you. Like, even if you do try to like not remember it, avoid it, or like you see a movie that reminds you of it, like there is like, you cannot escape from your past.
No, you
regardless.
can't.
So even if you don't meet the child, now this thought is gonna like haunt you till the rest of your days. What if I met the child?
Yeah, just getting this inquiry, I think it would taunt me.
Or what if she
Yeah.
doesn't do it and then regrets it later in life that she didn't get the chance? Like, what if the child reaches out, realizes, okay, they want nothing to do with me, I'm never going to try again, and then the mother realizes, well, now I want to meet you, and the kid doesn't want to meet you now.
I feel like it's hurtful on both parts now, because now it's like the child that was given up for adoption was never like is now not giving the getting the opportunity from the parent, and now if they did have any sort of feelings, because I'm assuming the child's having some sort of feelings, they want to meet their birth mom, right? They know they're alive clearly, and they're nervous about it. But now it's like you're being destroyed all over again. Like, one, you find out you're adopted. Two, now you know, or you're about to find out, if she does not go through with it, that she wants nothing to do with you.
It's going to hurt
Like,
in the end.
it's
her
a double
rejecting the invitation of meeting your
Yeah.
birth child.
Yeah.
Like, I would be absolutely destroyed if I was adopted and I reached out looking for answers. Like, it could have been in a good situation too. Like, the child might have did a DNA test and found out that her mother was still alive, or I don't know, it's a closed adoption, so I really honestly don't understand how this works. But what if she is in a good family and she just wants to meet her birth mom, not to have the connection of like a mother-daughter, but like just as a friend, like just
Or
to
even
meet
just
her
to meet
and just
once. We don't have to talk after this. Let's just meet, sit down, have like, you know, some coffee or something.
Like
and
I feel like when the mother that gave up the child has to sit down with herself and figure out like, what do I, if I meet the child, what do I want to get out of it? Like what do I want to get out of it? Because nobody can tell you, oh, I want to have a relationship with you, and just like, oh, let's just meet tomorrow and again and again. You can set those boundaries. You can be like, hey, listen, I'm in a place where I cannot have any emotional connections right now. I cannot be your friend, I cannot be your mother, I cannot be anything for you, but like, okay, let's meet.
at that point don't meet.
yeah, that's like
That's like saying, I literally don't care about you, but I'm just gonna make you feel better in thinking you have 20 minutes of my time.
Yeah, but
I would
that would make
at
me
that
feel
point,
shitty.
please do not respond back to me.
But if this
I
person
would
is
rather
so
don't
be
waste
hurt.
the 20 minutes of my
Right,
life.
I would rather be hurt over knowing that you never contact me back, rather than you telling me to my face that you did not want to know me.
what if it's a, let's say, I'm so sorry if you're like, if I'm wrong, but let's say,
But they're not a good mother.
Right.
you're not
they know
not
they're
living
not
a
a good
good
mother.
life right now. Let's say not a mother. She's not a mother. She's never been. She gave it away. She's just living a life right now, but she's not living a good life. And it's like, I have nothing to offer you. Like, it's because there is a reason why, oh, I don't want to meet this child. Like, maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's something else, but maybe it's because I have literally nothing to offer. Like, I'm not a good person. I'm not like, you can meet me and you can see where you're coming from.
Even in the end, maybe the child has to make that decision. In
Right.
a sense, like you can't just make that decision for your child.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying?
you can
But
still
in this-
meet them, but you should present yourself in the real, like, your real self. Be honest and open about who you are and what you have to offer. And because let's say they don't want to meet, yeah, oh, I never knew him, I never saw her face, it's whatever. But if they do meet, and let's say the child is like, well, I do want a relationship with you.
Don't meet. I don't understand. Don't meet the
Then don't.
child. If you genuinely have zero detachment, in my opinion, then don't. I think the only thing that's just running through my head right now is why you wouldn't. Wouldn't you want to see what they look like? You procreated this child. You don't want to see what they look like. You don't want to see if they're healthy. You don't want to see if they're thriving, if they're surviving, if they did.
But they don't want to see. They don't want the child to see them for who they are.
Well, I think if anything, if I was in this situation with my own birth mother, if she didn't want to meet me, maybe like write me a letter. Like, hey, I know you reached out to me. I'm reaching out to you to let you know that I'm not in a good place right now to be able to give you the support that you need. I hope you're doing good. I wanted the best for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that way you're not wasting, but going out and saying to that person's face, hey, I'm doing this for you. I didn't really want to meet you. You know what I'm saying? Like, write a letter or something.
you can
This way you don't have to see
You don't have to hurt me personally to my face.
You can just
True.
say it in a nice way, like, I'm just not ready right now. We'll circle back in the future.
Maybe come back in like 5 years.
5 to 10.
So-
A little 5 to 10 action, you know? But, like, if you just genuinely don't, just don't respond
Yeah, I don't
back.
think it's worth like hurting somebody in the end, because that would hurt me if I met my mother and she was like, listen, I did this for you. I didn't do this for me.
That would destroy me.
Like, even right now talking about it does make me a little bit upset because it's hard, you know? But like I said, now I've realized that it was for the right reasons. At least maybe that's what I told myself, you know, growing up.
I agree. You would not have been here with us today. So
Exactly. I
I'm
wouldn't have
grateful.
met.
I'm very grateful.
Yeah,
And you guys are like
for the path
family.
that you walked to get here. I'm
Exactly.
grateful
And that is
for
what you think
that.
about. We wouldn't be in each other's lives if I wasn't adopted, if I wasn't here, you know? Our
Right.
kids wouldn't be best friends.
Who's to say you would even have a kid?
That's
or like,
true. Although I think I would. I've always wanted a baby. So
Right.
I think that would eventually come out. But yeah, exactly. We wouldn't have met. And we wouldn't be sitting in this room right now.
recording Mom Talk Podcast.
For example.
No, but like that. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. This
Everything
whole-
happens for a reason in the end.
Yeah.
I feel like.
100%. I am a firm believer that
Everything-
what's meant to be is meant to be, and what isn't will not. Like, for sure. I know. That's a rough topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Especially because you've like lived it and you've
Yeah.
been through it. I don't know. Have you ever tried reaching out to your parents?
No, never. I do have a ancestry that I have at home that I've never done, just to be curious, just because that curiosity always
Kind of like the package.
blusters. Yeah, but I've never done it. But I think I've considered it. But then I'm like, I don't know. Like,
What if they live in
what if the reasons I feel like I was given up isn't the actual reasons? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, again, hurt myself in the end, feeling like I've been okay, thinking, okay, they did it for the right reasons, I'm in a good spot, and then all of a sudden it's like I find out that's not the reasons. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like that would hurt me in the end.
Do we know if they ever had any other kids?
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah,
Oof.
they had a few kids. Yeah, I think they kept a few and then got rid of.
Oh my god.
Not got rid
I don't
of.
need to laugh. That's just like,
I
I
didn't
feel
mean
like
to say got rid of, but I think they gave up a few for adoption. Maybe like 2. I know I was one of them.
And again, that could be for financial reasons. That could be for a million different reasons.
But to me, it's like, why have more kids? If
Right.
you don't want them.
Right.
If you're not going to keep, I don't know. That's just me though. Because I have a daughter and I would never imagine, you know, even if I have another one, I would never imagine giving up my child.
I would be homeless before I gave my child up.
Exactly.
I'd sell a kidney or like a leg or something.
Black market type shit.
Take my leg.
Take my
Take
leg.
my leg. Take my
kidney.
leg.
Take everything. Just please.
Yeah, don't touch my child.
Yeah.
Well, in a sense, though, it's like, I feel like us talking about that, like, take everything, like, to save the child. And in a sense, I feel like that's where adoption does come into play. Like, if somebody physically cannot keep the child, it is like you're trying to better them. It doesn't matter what situation. If you're going to go through 9 months of keeping that baby and then putting them up for adoption, it's not because it's in a bad, like, I just don't want this kid, forget it. Like, you
That's got to be a hard
know,
decision to make.
right, you know that you're doing it for the good of the child. Even if it doesn't necessarily end up happening that way. Like, I know, not that I know, just, again, opinion or assumption, like, there are kids that be put into homes and then you think everything's gonna be fine and dandy. And next thing you know, those parents don't want the adopted child anyway, and then they go living through foster.
Yeah, that's
Foster to foster. And it's awful. Like, me and Andrew have actually, I've brought up, I would love to adopt a baby. I don't,
I think adoption is great, especially for people who may not be able to even have kids.
right. I mean, I've had Scarlett. I don't know if I could have another. I mean, I don't until it was to happen. But I've had the conversation because I had such a traumatic pregnancy. Like, I would love to adopt. I would genuinely, if I was to have another baby, my first option would be adoption. My first option would be adoption.
Oh, that's like a saying.
Right? My first option would be an adoption. Honestly, for me personally, I would love to adopt. Just because, again, my pregnancy was so traumatic, like mentally, not even physically, that I would love to adopt a baby. Everybody's different. I know people like Andrew, we've had this conversation. He's like, I want my own, but it's also like there's so many kids in need.
Yeah, especially kids going through the foster system who just they age out of it because
They do.
in a sense I don't want to say nobody wants them, but you know what I'm saying. Like especially
They
as you
never
get
find
older,
the right.
they never find the right home. And especially as you get older, I feel like in the foster care system, nobody wants a child who's like 13, 14. You know, they want
Right.
the little babies. You know, and it's sad.
But it's also a little scary because like you also don't know what they've been through in those 13 years of still being in foster care.
That's true.
Where it's like, would you feel safe if you had another kid at home? And like that does worry me because you really don't know where their heads
Or
at.
what they've experienced through their life. You know?
Exactly, and that does worry me. Like I don't know. I've thought about fostering. Andrew, I don't know if Andrew would never be on board with it, but it also I feel like I'd have 20 kids.
You'd be like, yeah, I'll take that one too.
Please just sign the paper. I would need to have millions of dollars to do this,
The
but
fostering's got to be hard too, because I feel like if I fostered a child, I would want to keep that child. Like
Absolutely.
I would really, like you welcome someone into your family, into your life. It's not like you just want to be like, okay, take that back now. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you formed a bond. With
that's the
that
thing.
child.
How do you not grow some sort of attachment though? Like, how do you build this relationship with this child or person, however old they are, and you get to know them, you get to experience with them, you see like things working in their favor, and it's like you grow that attachment. So how do you just like, it's like adopting an animal.
I was just about to say, I was watching Lacey for a few days. I got like attached to Lacey. I got to see her character, like her personality
Yeah,
and
her
everything.
sassy
And it's like she's so funny. And like, and then like Johnny was like, oh, where's Lacey? Like he missed her. And like there you go. That was like what, 3 days?
Yeah, it's like
It was like a few days. And
I don't know how
we're talking
people foster.
person. We're talking people.
Yeah.
Like you get to know
You're
this
just attached.
child and like you spend the time and fun and good and bad and then you give it back.
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't understand. I mean,
Yeah, but good for foster parents though, because they're giving those kids those, what they can't have, which is great. I feel like so, that's. But again, it's probably
very
hard.
It depends because I know like, I won't say specifically who, but somebody I know within my family, whether it's mine or my husband's, they were in foster care for like a few years and the parent literally was only fostering them for money from the government.
That's true.
And I feel like you have a lot of really disgusting freaking people out there to like, oh, I'm just gonna take, like, how do you not grow an attachment? Like, you're just taking on this child because the government's giving you money. That is disgusting.
That's
and
But
a
it's
lot of
sad there are
people do
out
that.
there like that.
And it's not it's not just like a little amount, it's a lot of people. And it's like, I don't know, that's like, you're a sociopath in a sense, because like, you have no emotions. You're like looking at this person as an object that like literally.
money maker.
Yeah, you're
it's
just making
disgusting.
money each month. Disgusting. Yeah, absolutely
Sick
terrible.
people out
I
there.
didn't know that.
Well, yeah, there are people like that.
Oh, a lot of
I
people
watch a
like
lot of
that.
TV shows to see that stuff. I watch a lot of criminal and shows like that.
Horrible.
But yeah, there are people like that out there.
Terrible, disgusting. Well, I think we should move on to the next topic because I'm gonna get
That's
real
your
riled up with that
time, yes.
one. Okay, we have a really, really good topic with this one. My husband has an addiction to porn, and I've caught him on OnlyFans interacting with women and sending dick pics. I'm so beyond hurt. Oh my god!
I would be hurt too.
Yeah?
It's like,
Yeah.
what am I not giving you?
Well,
Am I not enough?
it's not. He's not even dating them. He's just
Maybe for attention?
every night probably he takes a different girl, sends like dick pics to everybody. Like he has. This is a mental problem.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like we said about the addiction is real, but
Yeah.
in that sense, it's a little hurtful to the missus. I don't know if was it a wife. I don't remember. the person.
They're married, right?
Are they married?
It says my husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you, do you think porn is cheating?
No.
No, I don't think it
I
is.
don't think porn is cheating.
Oh, this is gonna be such a good talk. I think porn is cheating.
Why?
I don't.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Okay, first off, I see what these girls look like on these porn websites. I am not in that physique. Okay, I am not this hot little blonde or brunette fucking opening my legs up wide. I'm sorry. I would be so insecure if my husband was jacking off to a video of a woman or a man or a woman and a man, and it wasn't me. Like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't you looking at me? Go freaking sit in the corner and jack off to me. You have to watch, I'm sorry, you have to watch a whole other person or people in order to get turned on. Am I not enough for you? I'm sorry, it is cheating. Now I'm insecure. Now I would be insecure.
I'm just stuck on the go sit in the corner.
Go sit in the corner and jack off to me. I'm sorry. You don't need to run to the internet to get pleasure. If you are in need of pleasure, come find your wife or girlfriend or partner or whoever it may be.
I don't think it's cheating because, let's say I went away to Bulgaria for a few months and John just wanted to jerk off, right? And he just plays something to help him out. I don't think that's cheating though.
You can't send him a video of yourself.
He
has
gets
to run. So then why is he running to the internet? Then why are you running to the internet?
I'm just saying maybe, but I don't think, me personally, I wouldn't get that offended because, let's say, in my family, it doesn't happen like so often. So if it happens, like, let's say, like,
so often.
Like,
You
what
do
do
it,
you
yeah,
think
no,
I don't even know if it happens. I don't know if he watches porn. I don't know, but I don't think so.
But it's like a fantasy thing. Porn is
But that's
fantasy.
it, it's
So
fantasy.
that's
It's
the
not
thing.
real
That's the
life.
thing.
But it
because
is
this
real
guy-
because you're attracted to somebody else. You're letting your mind open up to the attraction of somebody else getting you off versus the person that you're married to.
It's yeah.
And now OnlyFans is like next level
That's
because you can interact with them.
I was about to say now OnlyFans. Now I'll be even like upset if he's got even an account on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? So like now you're interacting. Now you're like literally looking.
You have a connection of
yeah,
some
you wanna,
sort with
like-
somebody else that's not
Yeah,
me.
but it's not even
But
like.
that's the same thing with porn. Even if you're not interacting, there's some sort of connection that you're forming to this person. Because like I know.
But
Wait, I know because I was
beautiful.
into porn when I was younger. I think everybody's gone through a porn phase, and if you haven't,
So you had a guy
I
you were
had.
in love with.
there was definitely one or two that I would want to just see all of their videos because they were hot. You know what I mean? Are you telling me you didn't?
Yeah, but I feel like that's like finding like a celebrity attractive. You don't find celebrities attractive?
I don't think that their dicks are hot because I'm not searching for them.
But like
That's what I'm saying. There is like that's porn exists out there because we've created like it's out there. You like you're saying it.
If you have time to go hide in the bathroom and jack off to another person, come find me and do it with me instead.
But I think that
Absolutely.
couples also like to look at it together.
Okay. Now,
That's another thing too.
I have me and Andrew.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
mom and dad. Sorry, to my in-laws. Me and Andrew have absolutely had sex watching porn. Like it's.
Yeah.
I think
So
porn
doing
is
it
hot.
together is
right.
different.
We're doing it together because we were like mimicking what they were doing.
Like learning new things
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Like teaching
Not
others.
you going and doing that shit on your own, homeboy. Absolutely not. And this was a long time ago. This was like way pre-Scarlet, even pre-pandemic. This was like the first year of our relationship. That's almost
Like
7
exploring
years
new
ago.
things, you're trying new things. I mean, I feel like that's normal.
Right, and it didn't last for long because it's not possible. What these people do is not fucking possible.
Especially the really skinny ones who like can move certain ways. It's like I can't move that.
To be fair, I was skinny in that time.
I'm not talking. I'm just saying in general.
I don't know.
But there you go. So like you're over there. He is looking at the other woman.
We weren't married.
Oh, okay. But it's about you said I'm gonna be so insecure. That's
Yeah. Do you see what these girls look like on these porn websites? I
But you
could
can feel that way if you walk in the mall.
No, they're not naked.
Oh, they're not naked. But I'm saying like
I mean,
Their
I feel that way
tits and their
sometimes.
vaginas
I feel
not
that way
out.
sometimes too. Like I see a girl, I'm like, oh, she's got a nice, or
Body.
Yeah, like I wish that was me sometimes.
yeah, but
you
that
know?
comes from within.
That
you
is
know what
so
I'm saying?
different than porn, y'all.
I'm just saying that it's out there. You can.
There will always be that sense of wanting to be like or have
Somebody
different
else.
aspects of
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. Do you guys watch porn to get off? Caroline's like, I don't like being quiet.
Sometimes, but sometimes we do it together.
Oh my god, Caroline, I will never unsee this moment for the rest of the time I live. Do you, Dee Dee? Do you watch porn?
I have watched porn.
Have you watched porn recently?
No.
Okay.
I haven't
was
watched
just
it
very-
recently, but I have watched it in the
Yeah.
past. Yes.
Married?
When was the last time you've watched porn, Catherine? When was it, Catherine?
6 years ago.
That's very specific.
Oh my god.
Because it was when me and Andrew watched it. It was when we were living in the apartment.
Oh my god, you're so Amish, actually.
Amish?
Amish.
Dilliana.
That's like saying I'm famished.
I don't know. Okay, now aside from the porn thing, which I clearly see where y'all bitches stand, okay? The OnlyFans thing is a really hard no. Like, I'm already against the porn
The
aspect, but like
interacting part
now,
is definitely a
you're
no.
sending dick pics. That's cheating. This is like full-blown past cheating. Now you're forming a relationship with somebody where you're getting physical and sending
Intimate.
photos.
And it's real
Divorce.
lifetime. It's it's live. Like it's real time.
I don't know how OnlyFans work. Is that they do that now?
I don't
don't
know. I'm
know.
asking.
I don't know.
It's a question.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
question mark
I've
at the end
never
of
been
that
on
sentence.
OnlyFans, so I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I know that you can like pay to make requests. I think, right? Like where you can like request.
There's a
Depending on where it
subscription
is.
system per person on OnlyFans. That I know as much. Because OnlyFans didn't just start with sex. It started like people doing like cooking shows. Like you could subscribe to them. It's OnlyFans, but then it became very sexualized. I don't know. I know there is a subscription. I know a girl who does have it. And I've clicked on it because I was curious because it said explicit content. And I'm like, what the fuck is explicit content happening right now? Mind you, this girl's like best friends with. I hope you're not watching this because that would be really weird. Anyway, when you clicked on it, it did show like a spicy photo of her. And then like the profile was private and it said you had to pay like $15 monthly subscription in order to view the content. But that's as far as I've gone.
I've never gone on OnlyFans, so I don't know.
Me neither.
Okay, funny story.
Oh, are you gonna talk about the?
Okay, really funny story. Me and Andrew made a joke one time. It's not real. I mean, okay, whatever. Anyway, we were like, we're gonna make money making an OnlyFans. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get unicorn heads and black out the wall in our room so nobody knows it's us. And we're gonna have sex on OnlyFans. People are into like some really cringy shit. Okay, they really are. They're into some cringy shit.
But where the heads to no
Catherine,
Right, the
Thanks for
unicorn
the
head.
money.
No, it's not that much.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding
Catherine.
me? I never did it. It's not a thing. We did create the profile and it's called Unicorn Me That Way. If you want to go look it up, I'm sure it's still there. There's nothing posted. We never went through with it. The thing is I do have respect for myself and I would never disrespect myself by putting me and my husband's sex life on the internet because that's the type of shit you can't take back. Have me and Andrew recorded ourselves?
But it's for you guys.
Right,
It's for
we
you.
have. I would never post it on the internet.
That's personal.
Dee Dee, I feel like you don't believe me.
No, I told
She's like, of course.
No, I've done the same. So.
Oh, you naughty
I
girl.
feel like everybody's recording.
I feel like
That's
if,
like,
yeah.
everyone's done that.
Anyway, back to the this cheating scandal because this is 100% cheating, and I'm like genuinely curious to know if like other people have the same opinion.
I think the sending the pictures, because they said the dick pics, right? But
Mhm.
I don't think watching porn is that big of a thing.
Oh, it's all cheating. It's everything. Even OnlyFans is a fantasy because it's like even though you're interacting now, it's still the same concept as porn minus the interacting.
I think the pictures and the OnlyFans maybe, but I don't think the.
Well, what? Somebody could become
Well, like that's the
highly-
thing though, is you didn't consider when you and Andrew watched it together as cheating.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I didn't think it was because we were doing it together. Me and Andrew have gone to strip clubs together, and
So
we've
you
done.
think when it's done by just yourself, it's considered cheating?
Yeah,
Okay, so I feel like that's different because when you say it's cheating, I feel like you need to specify only when you're not doing it with your partner.
right. Not doing it with your partner because, like me,
So,
like I said before.
so if it was a like
I'm sorry. Do you want information on this? Let me
No,
know.
I'm just saying.
Do you want the details of the
So
position?
if you were there and
What
then
were you
another
watching?
person was there, would you be?
Wait, can you reiterate that? Because I didn't
Yeah.
understand.
So you were having sex with Andrew while watching porn, and this is why it's not cheating. So if the person was actually in the room having sex with you guys, is that cheating for you?
Yeah.
You were in the room though.
No, it's a TV.
That's what
The
I'm
physical
saying.
person, their bodily fluids are not getting on me.
Okay, yeah.
And again, it was short-lived, and we were not
Exactly.
married, and we didn't have children.
Exactly. So when a man or a woman watches porn, no bodily fluids are
By
exchanged there.
themselves. Wait, okay, wait. I have a question.
themselves.
But wait, you think OnlyFans, because you're interacting, is cheating. But I mean, on these porn websites, even though you're not interacting, these people have very public pages all over social media. Who's to say they're not going to go send a dick pic to them and be like, let me be your next one?
If you want to be more personal and get off your way, that's totally different. But if you're just going there to jerk off for 5 minutes because your wife is on vacation with her girlfriends, go ahead, master. Go jerk off on whatever you want, a picture, a video, but not with a person.
Not in like.
But it's the
not
same
physical.
thing.
Not physically.
You
It's
just said it's not.
No,
there
it
was no
is.
bodily fluids exchange there.
They're by themselves. Listen, temptation starts at looking at other people and
Yeah,
fantasizing
even
about them.
if you're in the
You
room-
watching, Didi, but
Even
you
if
watching
you're in the room,
porn.
you can still have temptations towards other people.
Absolutely, which is why it was short-lived and we weren't married and we didn't have kids. That shit lasted for like literally a month. But the problem with this is that it all starts with temptation. So for you to feel the need to go and do it by yourself, and it's not even being talked about. Let's say it's not even being talked about. You're doing it by yourself. Now you're starting to fantasize, oh, I like this one better than the other one. Now you're starting to grow feelings towards this thing. I feel like it's very real.
I think if it's like very consistent, maybe. But if you're just watching it like, oh, I just need a little bit of a release. Let me just quickly do this. That's different.
Go find a video of us that you clearly have of us having sex in your phone and go do that. What? It's the same thing. You can put it on your TV. How is that not the same thing?
Because they do those crazy things that regular people don't do. You just said it. They're flexible. They do all those things. They're shaped nicely.
But why isn't your husband being turned on by you enough
It's
to be
like-
able to get off on a video
it's like-
of the two of you having
It's like,
sex?
why don't we watch ourselves all day, sit on the couch instead of watching the TV?
That is not the same, Didi. That's not even a fucking comparison.
Yeah. Like, why don't we watch our lives? Why do we watch other people's lives?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but we would make a hot reality show. I would love to watch our lives unfold. That shit would be wild.
You love to watch.
I wouldn't watch
I
my life.
love
I would
that
watch
watch
myself.
watching other people.
I would
watch
cringe
other
at
people.
myself, but I would do it. I would definitely watch myself in action.
I would rather watch other people.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. Not really.
Exactly,
Actually,
like
not
porn.
really.
I would rather.
It is not the same
I
thing with porn. There are other people, they look specific ways. When your husband or wife is going to look up
Even when
a
I-
person on porn and they're going to pick the video that they're watching, it's not being specified by how hot they are, what their body looks like, and what they're able to do. It becomes a fantasy, and fantasy turns into temptation. And then temptation turns into a lot of other things, which is where I feel it leads into cheating. Okay, this person probably started out by watching porn and then he said, oh, fuck yeah, let's do OnlyFans instead because now I can interact with the person that I am fantasizing about and I think is so attractive and they're doing all these things. Now I get to interact and now it turns into cheating. I genuinely believe porn is the first step into cheating.
Yeah, I don't think a porn star would actually go with like.
They're getting
Mr.
paid.
Nobody.
If they're getting paid, they
Mr.
would.
Joe Schmo.
They're already
Street.
getting paid for their video. Nobody's gonna go cheat with somebody's like.
But that's what OnlyFans is. They're interacting for money.
Yeah.
So
But
it is like next level porn.
Yeah, OnlyFans is cheating.
Right. But
Yes,
people are
porn
now
is not.
doing,
Porn,
but
I
people
don't
are
think
moving from porn websites and they're moving on to OnlyFans because they like the sense of interaction more.
Yeah, but they,
That's the problem.
the why there's a problem. It's a problem if you're married and you have children and you're going out of
Right,
marriage.
if you're single and
If
whatever.
you're single, go ahead and do whatever you want.
But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody who's married. I'll read again. My husband has an addiction to porn, and I've caught him on OnlyFans. So he was addicted to porn, and then he moved on to OnlyFans, interacting with women and sending dick pics. I'm so beyond hurt. So this
Yeah,
is not just OnlyFans is porn. It's just interactive porn. Right? No?
I mean,
I don't know. Again, my opinion. I feel like everybody has the right to their own opinion. I'm just saying.
I can
my
understand
part.
how you're reading from the message. One led to the next worst thing, and then it got worse. I understand that, but I'm saying if
It
like
doesn't work for everybody like that.
no,
Right.
because like you said, you wanted to explore the whole watching porn thing together, and you didn't like it. But there might be couples who do like enjoy doing that. Doesn't mean they're not less attracted
Do
to
you
each
like
other.
doing that?
I'm just saying it doesn't mean that they're less attracted to their partner. Maybe they just need a little something. But again, when it comes to be too much, like you're going in the bathroom and you're like it's a secret. That's different. That's then something bad. But let's say every once in a while, like maybe once or twice a year, okay, that's not a bad thing. When it's consistent, like this person is saying, then it's a bad thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think that's where the difference.
Yes, I can see it from that perspective. If it's once in a blue moon and it's rare,
We just
okay.
wanted to draw the line, like where is it normal and when it starts becoming a problem, an actual problem.
And again,
Andrew-
if you're single, go ahead, do what you want. You know?
Andrew, if you're watching this, you're never allowed to watch porn. Putting my foot down. It's fine.
If you
I
go
mean, he
back-
doesn't, so I'm grateful.
If you go back to
But-
the beginning of this video, Andrew, she said you could sit in the corner.
You can watch
Jack
her
would
and drop
have
it.
to-
You can sit in the corner and jack off if you really need to. But don't worry, you don't have to, honey, because I am there for you.
She's gonna give you a hand if needed.
Oh my god, Caroline, don't get specific over there. We don't use hands. Alright, anyway, going on, I think we should move on to the next topic.
And I'm reading that one.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Go ahead, Caroline. This is another good one.
This is another good one. I've been sleeping with my college professor, and I just found out I'm 7 weeks pregnant, and he's married. Part of me wants to tell his wife, and the other part of me doesn't know what to do. I think the first question is, do you want to keep the baby?
Right.
Because if you don't want to, you could easily take care of it and never have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I feel like that would be a hard decision to come to yourself. But I think that's the most important thing. Obviously, if you want to keep the baby, you might need, and you want this person to be a part of the baby's life, that might be, but yeah, it's very hard because he has a family of his own. What if he has kids of his own? We don't know from the message, but
He's a professor. Professors, it takes years and whatnot, so I'm not thinking he's in his 20s or his early 30s. Probably in his late 30s or his early 40s. And if he's married, I'm gonna just assume that he's got kids of his own. And he's fertile.
he's fertile.
We know this much. He is definitely fertile. I don't know, man. I don't know what I would do in this. I mean, I do know what I would do, but I don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? Like, I would 100% want to go and either confront him and be like, either you're telling your wife or I'm telling your wife.
That's true.
Or I don't know what other option there really is at that point.
I think what I would do is I would first decide if I want to keep the baby, and if I didn't, handle the situation, and then I think that would have to end ultimately. I mean, it should have ended if he's married. That should have been, but then again, that's where the hard choice comes in, because then if you do want to keep the baby, you say, okay, I'm pregnant. What do we do from here?
Yeah,
Where
what do we do?
go? What happens? We did this together. We made these choices together. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens now? Because if we keep this baby, your freaking wife is gonna find out regardless.
One way or another.
It's gonna come out. So you gotta make hard choices. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
What do?
What would you do, Giddy?
If I were who?
If you were
The professor or the girl?
Both or
We
her
already know
mother.
what
Or her mother.
If you were the girl
If you were the girl, what would you
in
do?
this situation,
If I was the girl, well, I don't know what type of relationship they have. Let's say it was just sexual. Like I don't wanna marry the guy. I don't want a future with this guy. It was just like, oh my god, my professor is cute.
And we had fun together.
I'm just gonna go around and just sleep with him, whatever. I mean, in this case, you fucked up. Now, let's say I fucked up. I have to face my consequences. I know I'm pregnant. Do I want to be pregnant? Do I want to continue with my education? Do I want to graduate? Do I want to be a
That's
mother
true.
now?
Now you got a lot to think about.
Yeah,
Does she
there's
still live with
like-
her parent? How old? Like, what
Yeah.
are the circumstances?
Right.
That's all the things you have to consider. Is she financially
'Cause
ready
now-
to take care of a baby?
Exactly.
Well, he must be. He's a professor.
Because now you're
Man's
paying,
got money.
you're paying for college. You're paying for your whatever you dorm or something, food, and now you're gonna take care of baby and do all the other stuff. I mean,
willing to leave her either, then she's doing it all on her own. And she has no help. I mean, unless she has the support of her family.
Right. I mean, like, in a situation for me, if if I was in that situation, I'm grateful that I would have the help, but also from like, I don't know, I guess I don't know. I don't know what I would do in this situation. Because one, I would be running to the wife to tell her, but on the other hand, it's like, do I really want to keep the baby now? Like it does, like, because now we're jumping into new territory. If you're keeping that child, right? It's almost like now you have to explain to the child later on in life, not that you're a bastard child, because no child is a bastard child, but in a sense, it's like you were a child created
Out
from
of wedlock.
Is it? It's not even. Wedlock is like if you're married, like before marriage. But it's like you broke up another home to have the child, and like no child should ever have to hear that come out of a parent's mouth. And that's sad if it has happened. Like it's shitty, but just also know that like you're literally loved.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I don't know. But also like, what if now we're talking on terms of like, now you're bringing a child into like you're young, right? So you have a whole life ahead of you. And now you're going to bring that child into a new relationship in the future. Like, that's hard. Like, what do you think, Dee Dee?
If I don't know, I've had 2 miscarriages before Johnny and after Johnny, and I feel like I didn't want to lose the baby. I like there's people out there that they're a good family, they can provide for the child, they can give so much, and then there's like another family that's just shit happened, it just happened to you that you got pregnant from somebody that you don't even like love,
That we know of.
that
She could have fallen in love with him.
Maybe
This is a trap. Maybe she's like trying to trap him with the baby. I mean,
maybe
we really don't know.
This is difficult. It's very
Would you
difficult.
keep the baby?
In this situation, I don't think I would want to keep the baby. I mean, this is like unless I'm willing to raise it on my own and do all those things and explain to the child all those horrible things that I've been through, that the child had to go through. I mean, it's trauma all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not worth it's a sacrifice. It's a big sacrifice to have the baby and not to have the baby.
Right.
It is. But I think ultimately that's the first decision she has to make is she going to have the baby or not? And then play it after that situation.
Would you
Where
keep
to
the
go
baby?
next. I think I would.
Yeah? Would you ever consider not keeping the baby?
I personally have always thought about this. I personally would never put my body through an abortion. I mean, I know there are circumstances where people feel they have to, or they're in abusive relationships, or maybe even sexually assaulted in some instances. I'm just saying, me personally, I feel like once something has entered my body that way, I don't think I feel like once it's there, even if it's just a little tiny dot, I feel like it still is a person to me, even though it's not. But again, that's not everybody, and I understand that, but everybody has the right to their own choices, their own body. That's just my body. What you guys decide to do or what she decides to do is her choice. I firmly believe that. Just me personally, I would not do it.
I agree with both stances. I understand the aspect of you never would, your choice. I understand you could. My position, I would. I don't think I would keep the baby. I did have a friend in high school, and this was like maybe 6 years ago. I'm pretty sure I was with Andrew. She had found out that she was pregnant, and her boyfriend, who I think now is her husband, like looked at her and was like, "You're not having this baby."
So like kind of forced her?
He kind of forced her.
Or like gave her didn't give her a choice to make the decision.
Said I didn't want the baby. And like in a sense kind of forced her to go and have the abortion. And at the time that we were talking about it, it had to have been like a year later. So she was like still traumatized over the whole aspect of having to do it, which is a whole other thing. Because like if you're going to go through with something like that, you have to be able to accept it also, because it can be very traumatizing.
Emotionally.
Right.
Yeah.
But in this situation, like, she's got to now figure out what she wants to do, because she is young. college years range between like 18 and 22 unless you're going for your master's. And even so, you're still like young unless you're like an older person in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it sounds like for you to want to do things that you're doing, fooling around with your college professor, you have to be on the younger side.
Yeah.
Fantasy. That's like a fantasy, you know? So,
But all
I mean,
fantasies come to an end, and
They
I
do.
think that that's what maybe she has to realize is that that's got to come to an end. Because in the end, he is married, and even if they do have a relationship, who's to say he's not going to go out and do it again?
right, 100%.
And is that the kind of person you want in your child's life too? Is that
No.
the question you have to ask yourself?
For me, absolutely not. Mm-mm. What about you, Didi?
No, thank you.
You can stay right there. Thank you very much.
Okay, keep your distance.
Yeah, no.
But it is a lot, and we hope that you could figure. Hopefully we were helpful in some sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can make you
Just do what's best that
think
you
of
think
the
is best
realization
for
of
you.
certain outcomes.
Yeah.
And just know that no matter what, you will be okay. Like, you will be. Sometimes things take time, but whatever decision that you make, it is your decision. And regardless, I think it'll turn out.
It'll work out in the end. Everything works out in the end, and everything happens for a reason. I feel like.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, just make sure you know where you're standing, like where you're coming from and what you want for the future to happen. Not just like, oh, do I want a baby? That's not just that one question. Do I want it or not?
Yeah, sit down
Like,
with
and
yourself.
then what? And then what?
Are you able to afford it? Are you able to support it? Are you able to do everything that you possibly can? Just make sure that those questions are running through your mind, because this is a big responsibility. It's not like you're adopting a dog.
And I feel like going around the professor and just telling his wife is not gonna be beneficial for anybody. I think
I would force
telling,
it.
well, tell the professor and then he
Yeah.
can tell his wife. Well, she can
Let me tell you
find
something.
out.
Let me ask you a question. If let's say he decides he doesn't want to tell the wife, how would you feel about that? Would you be okay with him not telling the wife about it?
If I were the girl,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. What will happen if the wife finds out? It's only gonna bring hate towards me, towards the guy.
It's gonna bring more problems in your life. In
Problems.
the end, maybe she'll find out on her own.
Yeah,
like you said,
if
once
she
a
ever
cheater, always
finds
a
out-
cheater.
Yeah,
But I would be devastated if somebody didn't confront me on something like this. Because I'd be pissed not knowing that my husband was that way. Maybe it gives me the time to reflect and see if I even want to be with this person. Because if he's doing it with one person, I have no doubt that he's either done it in the past or he's going to do it again.
It's true.
I mean, the wife maybe should find out, but I think
It should come
about the
from him.
baby. I feel about the baby, she should just go tell him, "Hey, I'm pregnant. Like we are
Like,
pregnant.
where do we
we
go
are
from
pregnant." Yeah.
I'm assuming that he told her. I am
She
assuming
told
that
him.
she told him. Thank you.
That they're having a baby. That
Yeah.
she's pregnant.
Because if she's threatening about like
The
my
what?
husband, wait, I've been sleeping with my college professor. I just found out I'm 7 weeks pregnant and he's married. I want to tell his wife, but either. Okay, so it doesn't seem like he knows.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
It
think
seems like she
I think she
just
just
found
doesn't
out.
know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, she found out she's pregnant. Where do I go from here?
7 weeks though. Now that's a different.
That's very hard.
You're getting closer to like an actual baby now. I don't know.
We
It's
got-
tricky.
In the end, it's her
We got
choice.
that message
It
2
is.
weeks ago. She's 9 weeks now.
Yeah. But you're right, actually. Honestly, she's 9 weeks now if she didn't make any decisions. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard because to make a decision like that, I feel like it takes time, but really, you don't have time.
Yeah.
That's
It
a
goes by
ticking.
quick. It
Yeah.
goes by quicker than you think. Pregnancy.
Yeah, it
You find out you're
does.
pregnant.
It's a hard decision. It
In the
really
end, I
is.
think someone's gonna get hurt. Either the wife's gonna get hurt. What would she be considered? The
Even
mistress
if
The mistress.
is gonna get hurt.
The
He's
sa-
gonna
yeah.
everybody's gonna get hurt. But in the end, well, I think that your most important thing is to think about what is best for you.
Right. I mean, you never know. They might be in a dying marriage. They could be on the ends of it, and maybe this is something that he wanted. I mean, we just don't know. We don't even
Yeah,
know. I don't
we're
even think
playing-
she
we're
even
playing
knows
on
because
it, yeah.
it sounds like she hasn't even confronted him yet on the topic. So I don't know. There's so many different things to think about this. But yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, anybody else have anything to say? That's it.
That's it.
Well, thank you guys for joining in. We really hope you loved this episode. We will be airing our next episode come next Tuesday, so stay tuned. Bye.